1 2 1 2. Do we have a live stream? Okay. Okay, just trying to set this up right now. Tester. Okay. One. Use 2. One, two, 1 2. Okay, if you can hear me out there, if you could just try and comment for me. Just trying to get all this sorted out before we get started. Warm up. Just want to make sure everyone's live, can hear me. If you can hear me and everything's good, send me a message just to let me know that you can hear me in the chat. Okay, so as we get started, if you have any questions as I'm going along, and above here you can see all the DJI devices that I have right now. There are a few bits and pieces, some accessories that I do have. So if you have any questions about accessories or the best accessories that I use, feel free to comment or ask those questions. This is an open chat, and so you can ask me anything you want. Just make sure, you know, keep everything nice and clean, or I'm gonna have to eject you. Those are the basic rules. Any other questions? If there's a question I don't really know the answer to, then I'll just let you know I don't know the answer. I'm gonna try and do this on a monthly basis. So we're gonna try and add new questions as we're going along every month. So right now, if you're in the US, you may have heard about the DJI ban. Now, I don't think it's as, should I say, as big as it's playing out to be right at this point, because DJI already have 2 or 3 products that they've already got FCC certification for, so those should be coming in 2026. So one is the Pocket 4, which a lot of people have been waiting for, and the other one is the DJI Avata 360, which is going to be the head smasher for the anti-gravity from Insta360. So, and there's one more device that they've got. We don't really know what it is at the minute. I'll try and find the name of it at some point and share that with you. But we think it's another drone, but it's very, very early. I think DJI wanted to try and get that through and get it approved. So at least they have 3 products that's going to be coming out in the US. Now, from what I'm understanding is right now, any DJI drones or devices that you have, you can continue to use as long as you're getting your licenses, if you're flying above 250, and just making sure you are following the rules in your area in regards to the restrictions in flying your drones. But outside of that, nothing has changed from that perspective. The only change is any new products that are coming through to the US market on the DJI release schedule. And as I said, there are already 3 that are scheduled for release next year, so at least that's a good thing. The main ones that we are looking for anyway is the Pocket 4 and the 360 drone, so thumbs up for that. I'm currently in Canada, so we don't have any restrictions like that at the moment. Fingers crossed. Pop over if you need any DJI gear. Anyway, so yeah, I've got a UK accent, from the UK, but I live in Canada. So one of the best devices that has come out of recent is the DJI Neo, and the Neo 2, I should say. So if you've seen any videos on my channel, you would have seen that I've been raving on about this, and I've made so many videos, and I'm going to be making so many more videos in regards to it. But I do have a whole range of different DJI devices. I've got the Mic 3, as you can see right here. I do have the Mic 2, okay, which is still a great microphone if you're thinking about purchasing and you want something a little bit cheaper than the Mic 3. This will do you. You're not going to have any problems with this at all. This is a great microphone, and it enables you to have the you got the mic jack here, so you can have an external microphone to it, so you can clip it on your hip and then feed the mic in, and you can have it under your clothes. Whereas a Mic 3 can't really be as discreet with this as you can with these. Plus, I think the battery lasts longer on these as well. And there are a few other bits and pieces that this can do that this can't. But also, there's a lot of things that this can do that this cannot neither. So, moving on to some of the other new gadgets from DJI, we've got the Action 6 right here. So I've had this for probably about a month, but I haven't really had a chance to actually use this. I did go out and do some testing the other day, and because of the release of the 8K, which we will speak about in more depth a little bit later on, I did hold out because I really knew that DJI were going to release some updates, and this was going to be the top action camera, which it is now. So let's see how we get on with this. So stay tuned on the channel, because more videos will be coming around all of these devices, especially this one. So, question in the comments from Kazabink. Thanks for that question. So, how many mics can you use at once? Now, how many mics, depending on what system that you have that you're using. If you're using the Mic 2 or the Mic 3. Now, the Mic 3, let's start off with the Mic 2 first. So, the Mic 2, you can get it in a package like this. So, you get the 2 microphones. Okay, I got the other microphone right here. Okay, so that just slips in. So, we have the 2 mics and the receiver. And this is about as much as you can add. You only can add 2 microphones to this one receiver, which will do most people, will do most content creators. There has been talks in regards to the Mic 3 being a better device because it enables you to have more microphones, but there are some restrictions because you can't use the lapel mics and so on. So only 2 microphones on the Mic 2, but then with the Mic 3, I can find my case anywhere. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we've got the Mic 3 here. Same kind of casing as the Mic 2, and I'm misplacing everything. Things are right in front of me and I can't see. Anyway, so in here we have the transmitter. We've got another transmitter here, and I'm using this for the audio in this video right now. So I'm using the transmitter over there, or the receiver over there, which is near enough the same look as the receiver on the Mic 2. It is a little bit smaller and has a few different additional functionalities embedded in that. But with the Mic 2, getting to the crux of the question. Now you can daisy chain up to 4 receivers. Okay, so you can have 4 receivers that connect to each other, so you can put them on different cameras or different locations. And with each receiver, you can have, I think there's a maximum of 8 microphones in total that you can have. I would have to double check that, but I think it is 8 at the minute. But you can have up to 4 receivers, which is really good, especially if you're doing a larger broadcast and you've got multiple people. With the Mic 2, as I said, you only can get 2 transmitters, microphones, and with the Mic 3, you can have, I think it's up to 8. I'll double check that. But this is more versatile if you have many more people. This is more versatile if you want to be more discreet. So, all depending on how you want to use it and how your setup is, will dictate to exactly which microphones that you want to get. I do have a feeling that DJI will bring a Mic 3 Pro at some point. There was some chat about it before. There was also some chat about having some type of dongle on the bottom of this, but that never came to fruition. So that is not part of what's going on. So yeah, the Mic 2 is over here. The Mic 3 is the one I'm using all the time. It does add so much more functionality, and the fact that it's smaller as well, it's a bit more discreet and doesn't pull down your clothes as much as it would with the Mic 2. So just jumping back, as I said, if you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I will be checking the screen every now and again. So as I was talking about the Action 6, I really like this. As you can see right now, I have this cage on it and I have this additional accessory on the top. You may have seen this before on the Small Rig website or YouTube page or on their Instagram, and some nice functionality coming out of this. I'm not going to spoil it for you and tell you exactly what I'm going to be using this for. You have to make sure you subscribe to the channel and you'll see how I create a new type of configuration, and a sneak peek that it's going to be something to do with this and this. Okay, so yeah, the Action 6 8K. So when it's initially released, it was only doing 4K, and a lot of people were I guess not too happy with the fact that you have the Insta360, they have their action cam that can do 8K, and a lot of people felt like, why is DJI only releasing a 4K camera? But now we have 8K. We also have the lens. I'll show that to you here. Okay, so we've got the lens here, and I will be doing a full review on this. I really want to test it out and see, so I can let you know if this is actually worth purchasing. Right now, I'm kind of like, I'm not too sure if I should be purchasing this, but we'll see how it works. And also I want to see how it works with the 8K, if it's really going to create a camera that you can use all the time. My number one camera from DJI is the Pocket 3. Okay, we will get into this and we'll talk about this a little bit more because of the Pocket 4 coming out soon. So another question from 0664am. Thank you for that. I bought Osmo 360. Do I really need to get an Action Cam 5 Pro or 6 camera? It all depends on what you're doing and what you're using it for. I would say that The 360 camera is a great camera. You could use it for your, your selfies. If you're doing your vlogging and things like that, you can get all kinds of footage and shots. One of the downsides about it is that it's very, very wide, okay? And the footage that you get out of it is really good, and it does have a 1-inch sensor in it. I haven't seen any updates recently because I haven't used it recently, so there may be something that has upgraded that. But if you want to get, the sharpest or sharper shots, then you want to be going for an Action 6. But do you really need to? No. The only downside, again, with the 360 is that we've got these lenses that are exposed at all times. So if you are doing any real action with this, you're most likely going to damage it. I do have these lens guards on it right now, and I think I've got a little bit of lint or something underneath it. I'm smudging it up with my fingers. But yeah, this is a great tool, but for action, it's not really, I wouldn't say it's an action cam that you want to attach it to anything like a motorbike or, skateboard or doing any stunts like that. Maybe skiing, but these lens guards, they seem to work okay. I've been using them all the time. I haven't used this without the lens guards on it, and I haven't seen it distort the image or anything like that. It's just, they're not as secure as I would wish they would be, but they're okay. So depending on what you're doing with it, use it to its full capabilities. And if you're finding that you need something to, add for action, then if you already have this already, I would probably say get the Nano. Get the Nano over the Action 5 Pro if you have this already, because the versatility that you're going to get with this combination is going to probably outweigh what you're going to get with the Action 6 or the Action 5 Pro. And the footage that you get out of this is really good. I've used it in some of my videos, so if you check out the channel, you'll probably see, I don't know if I highlighted when I've used it, but I would like to do a full review on this. I just haven't got around to it. But this will be your best combination. If you already have the 360, get the Nano, because you can put it in many different places and whatnot, before you get the Action 5 or the Action 6. Hope that makes sense. Hope that's helpful. Feel free to ask me some more questions on that. Okay, so placing those down at the moment, and just going around the table. As I said, this is, as I said, one of the best DJI devices ever. I would suggest anybody out there, if you're thinking about getting a drone, or if you have a drone already, get this. I'm not a DJI salesman. I'm just a DJI fanboy. I gotta tell you straight like that. So I would get this as your first entry into drones, because you can do FPV. If you check out the video on my channel, I'm showing you all the ways that you can use this. So it's very, very versatile. And if after that you are still interested in, upgrading, or you want to capture better footage, then depending on what you want to do, you can get the Avata 2. Okay, this just has the bumpers on it to protect it right now. Or you go with the Mini 5 Pro. Okay, so the Mini 5 Pro is the top dog right now. I would probably stay away from the Flip unless you just need it for content. If you just need it to capture footage when you're out and about, it has a really, really good camera, way better than this camera. And you can get that footage that you need and fold it and put it away. Whereas the Mini 5, you got to be more careful with it around people. These has bumper cars all the way around it, so this is safer in environments where you have more people, even though you shouldn't be flying these around people. But if you're in a park or something like that, or you're in a situation where it's away from people, you wouldn't want that to particularly fall out the sky and hit anybody. You'd be better off having this fall out rather than the Mini 5 Pro. This is still a good device. Will still get you some good footage, but if you are just really focused on footage side of it and the clean and the cleanliness of your video, get the flip before this. This is more fun and gives you good video, whereas that is more of a tool for capturing your content. If you're vlogging, doing B-roll and things like that. And then you got your Avata 2 if you want to be taking it up to FPV level and doing more action type shots. There is a higher learning curve or steeper learning curve with this, unless you use the motion controller. But if you do use the sticks, then you know it's going to take you a longer time to learn how to use that. But also, as I said, you can learn with this and then graduate to that later on. Okay, so any questions, as I said again, feel free. I can deep dive into anything on the table that you want to be talking about, or anything that's upcoming. If you have any questions that you're not too sure about, or you want my opinions on it, just feel free. So the Action 5 Pro and the Action 6, one of the key things about these two, which has really kind of stumped me, probably stumped a few other people as well, is the fact that this is called the Pro and this is just the Action 6. Why is there not an Action 6 Pro? Okay, leads me to kind of think that at some point they will go with a 6 Pro rather than a 7 in future, probably in the next 12 to 18 months. Not sure what they will bring with that, but in the meantime, that's what we have. The build quality and everything is exactly the same. The 6 is just a little bit bigger. As I said, it's got the cage on it right now, and this is the cage from Small Rig. Really nice cage. I did have another cage in one of my accessories video, but I would strongly suggest getting this one instead, because you've got different type of mounting points that you can use. You've got your 3/4 inch or your 1/4 inch right here. You've got your DJI mount there as well, and you have a cold shoe at the top, and then obviously you got access to your DJI mount at the bottom as well. So you may have seen on my 360. So the 360 also has a cage on it, another Small Rig one. I need to get Small Rig to start sponsoring the channel. They did send me some stuff a while back, but it is nothing that's on the table right now. But so all these cages and everything like that of what I've bought personally with the support of people watching and subscribing to the channel. So thank you out there for those who have subscribed. I really appreciate you, and it gives me that energy to, you know, continue to create more content. As I was saying, on this Osmo 360 camera, we have this little lip here. So if I bring it up to the screen now, and you can see I can fold this out. Okay, and one of the good things about folding that out, as I said earlier on, the lenses are totally exposed, but now this is going to give me like a little bit of a kickstand. So I don't know if you can see it on screen, but if I put it here, what it's going to do, it's going to stop the lens from touching the ground. So if you ever need to put it down, you have that, and it just folds away easy like that. You also have the 1/4 inch thread here as well. You can access your DJI mount, and you also have a cold shoe on that side, and really nice. Just simply opens up like that and then closes back, and just gives you a little bit more protection. The main things that are the most delicate are the lenses anyway, but you know, the fact that you can now mount this in different ways, because you have your 1/4 inch right there, so then you can stick it on a tripod like that or like this. I have at one point had to use it like this, so it's very handy that that was there. Okay, so let me put that kickstand out. When it comes to the Nano, I think this is very genius as well. And once again, as I keep stressing, and this is why I love DJI, they will release something and they will keep and continue to make it better. So this came out how many months ago? Probably about 4 or 5 months ago this came out. And then since then, there's been so many updates to fix any issues, but also added functionality. A lot of people were complaining about not being able to, when they detach it and they have the camera and have the microphone connected to the camera, they weren't able to see the footage. This has been slightly resolved now. Okay, so they've stepped that up for something that was an issue in the beginning, so that works. That's really good. And the fact that, you know, you're detaching something and you can stick it up anywhere. It's really easy to place this. I do have the attachment. Over here, so this is what you get with it. You get the lanyard with it, so this is around your neck. Okay, so you could attach it like that, hang it around your neck. You could have it loose, or you could have the magnet behind your clothing, which is really, really nice. And in addition to that, you don't just have to use it like with the camera. Instead, you can attach the whole thing. Okay, you do get this hat attachment. So when you are using the lanyard, you can attach the whole thing on. Well, if you place it properly, okay. And it is quite strong. He says as he hits himself in the face. Okay, well, I would suggest probably not walking around with it like that unless you need to. Just be aware of, you know, it coming off. Yeah, so so you're looking into the Nano. As I said, it's really, really good. The image quality, I would say, is comparable to the Action 5, but just a little bit lower in terms of the quality of the output. But you can get away with it. I think the footage on this is really good for what it is. And the usability, I've used this on a couple of vlogs, which are meant to release, I haven't released as yet. But just being able to, you know, place this somewhere else, okay, and then see what you're about to shoot, and then you can hit it, put it in your pocket, do your filming. If you need to do a retake, you can stop it and start it, and you don't have to keep walking over and stopping and starting the camera, because you have this as a remote as well as a screen. So very, very good. The audio on this is superb as well. Just make sure when you are holding it, if you are holding it like this and you're trying to film anything, there are a couple of holes on it where the microphones are. Don't know if you can see right here. Okay, so the microphones are here, and yeah, they're right here. So just be careful. Just don't hold it like this to film, because then you'll be covering up the microphone like that. Really good. The only downside to this is the battery. Battery doesn't last as long as, you know, the other action cameras. It's decent enough. Just make sure, you know, you have the screen charged up, because make sure you have both of them charged, I should say, because as I'm connecting it back together now, you'll see it'll give me the reading for the screen and the camera itself. Now what happens, this will run down its battery quicker than this. So when you connect it back like that, it automatically starts sending the power and charging up the camera at the top. So when you're ready to detach it again, okay, you can still use it. Now, one of the good things about having these two is that if I've got this detached, I can easily, like that, I can start recording without even having this screen on at all. So I don't even have to use this. I just might want to use it for preview later on, but I can just, you know, take that out of my pocket, record something, stop it like that, carrying about my day. I find something else I want to record. Even though you don't have your screen, you can just kind of point it in the area where you think you'll be getting that footage, and then you're good to go. And then when you attach it back later on, you go through the settings and you can pull the footage from the camera at the top into the base. Okay, and then this will wipe. Once you pull the footage from the camera to the base, it will wipe the data that's in the camera, so you can continue to record. So you can get quite a few gigs out of this. And also when you plug it into your computer as well, you can actually offload the data straight from the memory card in here. You don't have to take it, You can take it, sorry, you can take it from the memory card in here, but also you can take it from the onboard storage here, if that makes sense. Yeah. But if you want to view anything on here or through the Mimo app, you have to transfer the data from here onto there. It takes a little bit of a while, but it's quite simple and easy to do. Okay. Make sure if you lose this, make sure this is backed up with the data from here, so at least you still have your footage. Okay. And also, I think, I'm not sure if you would ever be able to, if you say for instance lost one or the other, that you'd be able to buy one piece and the next, because I really feel that if you have a different version or someone else's camera, I don't think it would work on top of here. Okay, I think that's something that sometimes DJI lack in certain areas when they think about things like that, replacing particular items. If I find something else with a Neo, I'm gonna try it and I'll let you know in the next stream. So we've gone through quite a lot of the devices. We are gonna be on here for another, say 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We'll finish at 6:30. So moving on to this here. One of the greatest cameras ever created. And I know people that haven't used this or seen the footage from this may think to themselves that how can this be any good? Look how small it is. I don't know how DJI did it, but they did it. And out of all the cameras I've ever used, I've got to say this is the most versatile. The amount of different things that you can do with it. And the number one thing is the image quality. The image quality is superb. If you've seen any of my videos on the channel, the top-down shot of this desk is not this camera that I'm showing right now. It's actually this. And I'm actually thinking about moving away from using my big digital camera, my FX3 in studio. I'm actually going to be going and moving on to using this instead, because you have to do so much work on the FX3 to get the footage to look really good and clean or sharp. But that's how it's created, to give you more versatility. The Pocket 3 is still versatile and will give you the footage that you want. And this can record and film for hours. I've used this in many of my client work, okay? Not for my main camera. This is like being a B camera or something, just, you know, capturing footage of an audience. And this has been really good in enabling me to do that, because I can set this running. It's running for maybe 2 hours and I haven't got to worry about it. And if I ever want to check in, move the camera or anything like that, just connect to the Mimo app, and then I can move it to wherever I want. If I'm halfway the other side of the room, I can do that rather than having to walk past people and then try and, you know, reset where I want the camera to be pointing. I can do it all from here, and keeps me nice and discreet and in the background when I'm doing any filming. As I said, DJI always improve on their kit. Now, I haven't done a review on this because when I first got it, I was too busy doing other things and I really should have done a review. But also I felt there's so much content out there on this, you can get the information that you wanted. But when the Pocket 4 comes out, I will definitely be doing a review and how best to use it and comparing it to the Pocket 3. I don't know what they're going to do to make this any better, but I'm excited for 2026 for that main purpose. So this has loads of accessories. I have loads of accessories. There's a video on my channel talking about all my accessories. There are links in there. If you think about buying anything from there, use that because it helps out the channel. As I said, as usual, I can bring you more content and then buy more bits and pieces to help you make that right decision. If you should save your money or spend it on these stuff. And I'm going to be totally honest. Most of the things that I do put on the channel are things that I do actually spend my money on and I do keep. Anything that I'm not too sure about, I'll definitely let you know. Nothing that I review is sponsored, and if it is sponsored, I will let you know. I've only probably done 2 or 3 videos that were sponsored. but I always put it in there that I need to be able to be honest with my audience and tell them exactly how I feel about it. They don't review the video before I put it out. If they ever did ask me to review the video before they put it out, I will get them to review it. Anything that they want to change that I didn't agree with, I would just end the contract and I just wouldn't do it, and I'll just send back their product. So I'm always going to be honest on this channel. So accessories, one of the key accessories is this really little basic plastic casing for the Pocket 3. All it does is fits on here like that and then clips over. And all it's going to do is going to stop your gimbal from rocking around, so it's easier then to put it in your pocket rather than using the big old case. So rather than using this one, which it's okay, it's usable. You know, if you want to save some money, then you don't have to go and buy this. But this just keeps things nice and slick. And I do have another attachment for this. Check out my video, you'll see all of them in there. So that's the Pocket 3. What can we talk about next? Controllers. You may see this sitting on my desk. If you're thinking about doing any or learning FPV, this is the controller that you want to use, especially if you are a DJI head like myself. Buy this. This is the RC controller, or the RC controller 3. Okay, I keep all my DJI boxes, so I'm a fan like that. And this is what you can use with your Neo 2. Now you may have seen on my channel that I initially bought the first Neo, and the Neo 1 was my first drone, and that came out what, a year and a half ago maybe, and I was super hyped about it because it was my first drone and I thought it was so great. But it really disappointed me. It disappointed a lot of people out there. But saying that, the Neo 2, the improvements on this go way above expectations. And if you see my review, see all the other people reviewing this on the internet, they'll agree as well that this is one of the best drones from DJI. It's because the technology that they've added into it is technology that you're going to see in a lot of the other future drones. So this is kind of like their test bed or their test platform. And they've integrated things in here that work really well and would work really well in, say, for instance, the Avata 3, not the Avata 360, but if they bring out an Avata 3, if they put all this tech in this and give this the speed or even more speed than this has right now, this is going to be a game changer. So keep that in mind. But controllers, we have the motion controller. This is useful. I do like flying with this. I do enjoy using the Neo 2, and I do enjoy using the Avata 2 with this as well. Sometimes I do feel like I'm cheating when I'm using this, so I tend to use this more often. And I am learning FPV right now, where I am very cold, snowing outside, and I am more of a tropical person, so being outside for too long isn't great. So I'm going to wait until it gets warmer before I go back out and start flying FPV anyway. But with the Neo, you can do it virtually hands-free. Once you set it and keep walking, put your hands in your pocket and you're good to go. Now the other controller, okay, is the RC2. Yeah, the RC2. This is always a #1 device to have. If you do buy the Neo and you bought it separately, buy this at some point if you're thinking about any other drones, because you can use this with everything else apart from the Avata 2. You can use this, and really is a good device. Don't buy the RC1. Even if you're getting it for cheap, don't buy it, because the radio system in this is the newer radio system. That's going to enable you to connect to all of these, whereas the RC1 is not going to give you that flexibility. In addition to that, we have the goggles. Okay, I love putting these on when I'm out and about because I feel like a super geek. But the only thing with this is you can see outside as well, but there's a few things that you have to do to enable that. Okay, question about the Mini 5. So before the Mini 5 question, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. How well does the Neo 2 work in the wind and cold weather? Now, in the wind is where you're going to have a lot of problems if it's super windy. Because it's so lightweight, it does get blown around a lot in the wind, and because you have all these surfaces here, it gives the wind more places to pull the drone. But saying that, unless it's extreme wind, you're kind of getting away with it. But just be careful if you're flying this off into the distance and it is very windy. This is prone to, if it does hit a gust of wind that is too much for the drone, it will self-land. So be careful. I don't know if you can cancel the self-land once it starts happening, but I've seen it once. I'm not trying to see it again. Do not want to lose the drone. In terms of being in the cold, now with any battery, you know, once it is out in the cold, it is not going to perform at its optimum amount. So you could probably get 10 to 12 minutes. Yeah, probably about 10 minutes on the battery in warmer conditions. When it gets colder, I'll say you're probably going to knock off probably 20-25% of that time in extreme cold. It flies in snow, but one thing to be aware of, if you've got the sensors on the front and they do get any rain or any snowflakes, you'll see the drone start to do strange things. And also with the cameras on the top and bottom that do the avoidance detection, if they get covered as well, it will cause it to, you know, act a little bit strange. But as I said, for what it is and what you pay for it, it's a great drone. So yeah, probably don't take it out too often in the cold, and if you do, just expect the batteries to die quicker than usual. And in the wind, just be very careful. If it's moderately windy, be careful. If it's extremely windy, don't even try it. Don't even try it with any of these drones, because you're going to get yourself in a situation. And when you're flying your drone, a lot of times you are going to feel a little bit anxious. Well, I do anyway. I'm sure most people, even the professionals, they feel anxious too. Okay, any more questions on the Mini 5 Pro? Now the Mini 5 Pro, I've had it since its release. Got it as soon as it was released, and I've been testing it. I haven't done a full review on it. I've done some micro reviews, which you'll see on the channel. And I've just been testing it to see how well it's been working, the difference between the video output. The video output on this is, how can I say, it's marvelous for what it is and the size. Comparing it to something like one of the Mavics or some of the other bigger drones, the output from this is really, really good. And also you got that 2x lossless zoom on this as well, which is something that I didn't mention about the Pocket 3. You get that lossless zoom 2x zoom on that, but it doesn't do it in D-Log M, only does it in standard color profile, whereas this will do it in D-Log M as well. It's really fast, not as fast as this, but it's made for a different thing. Now, one of the things, I'm not sure if this is what other people have experienced with their Mini 5 Pro, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, this is fully charged, but it's only showing me 4 batteries, 4 battery lights at the minute. But this wasn't something that was going to deter me and get me to send it back, because I didn't want to be without my drone for, you know, a week or how long it's going to take to come back. So I just kept it. It doesn't really cause any problems, because I'm going to see the strength of the battery on screen anyway. And if I put it in the charging case and press that button, it tells me if it's full or if it's depleted by any amount. And okay, moving on from that. I don't know if you have any other questions on the Mini 5 Pro. Okay, so wrapping it up, what I want to do is just briefly talk about what's happening with the new DJI releases. As I said, we have the DJI Avata 360 on the horizon, and in the next stream, I will talk a little bit more in depth as to what's coming. So you're gonna have a load of different functionality that's gonna come with that drone. Comparing that to what Insta360 have released, I think that Insta360 really need to slow it down on the drone side and focus more on the action camera side. Right now, their action cameras should be beating DJI out of the water, because DJI are doing all kinds of things, because they have drones, gimbals, cameras, all their accessory range. You know, they got professional camera gear, they've got enterprise drones. Yes, they may have a way bigger budget, but this is what I'm saying. Insta360, if they just focused on their 360 camera mainly, I think that's what they should do. Because if they made a really great 360 camera that outbeat this, then I would have bought theirs and stuck with it. But I did do a review on the Insta360 camera, and I'll say it wasn't that, you know, for what they had in the previous models, because I did have the Insta360 X3. I missed out the X4. I sold the X3 thinking that the X5 was going to be great. It came out and it was just okay. You know, for their 5th generation of 360 camera, they should be killing it, because DJI brought out their first 360 camera and it's on par with Insta360. The only downside to the 360 camera from DJI is the fact that you don't have replaceable lenses. That is it. The replaceable lenses is the only issue. But you do have these lens guards, and they have stayed on for me. There could have been a different way to, you know, attach them. But I'm sure on the next iteration, DJI are going to kill it. So 360 wise, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to when they release that. Hopefully it should be in the first quarter of 2026. I would personally like it to release like earlier, but at the same time, being in a colder environment, I'm probably not going to fly it as much. So it's probably better for me, realistically, if it didn't release until later into the year. Probably just before summertime. Anyway, well, that is about it for this session. Not too sure if there's anything else to add in this stream right at this point. I just wanted to give you an overview of everything that I have from DJI. As I said, I do have a lot of accessories. Maybe I'll do an accessory stream next time, and I'll show you all the accessories that I have and how they work and how they function. But thanks for checking in. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments on this or one of the other videos, and I will see you in the next video. So for now, peace.